Hello beautiful you! My name is Ingunn and welcome to my channel. In this video I want to talk about how to get through hard times and do not fall into depression. The reason I want to talk about this is because personally I have been through a very traumatic and hard time the last months, and I will not start talking too much about that. I want to make this video general instead, with the most important things in my view that made me and helped me get through these times. So this is not the first time I have been going through something hard, and I guess you also had plenty of those experiences, because let's be honest, it is life. Sometimes we will be happy, sometimes we will be sad, all kind of events will come into our life. So let's honor that. Even if it's hard, we can always try to find a way to honor that and to see things in a different way. Let's get into it. I will tell you my 10 tips for not falling into depression and get through hard times. Number 1, do not try to fight the mind. You will never win. I have learned this the hard way, and through my meditation practice I have been very used to and learn how to actually observe the mind instead of just get pulled in and engaged in it. But many of us, we try to fight our own mind. We notice that our mind is not doing something that benefits us. It's telling us, you have that voice inside that tells horrible things to you, or you have that inner voice that says it's very psychic and tell you this is going to happen, this is going to happen. And that inner voice can drive you mad, but it doesn't help to fight it. But what you can do that will help is to see the distinction between you as the observer and the mind with all its games and thoughts and feelings and emotions and things coming up and jumping from one thought to another. And practice the skill of observing your mind doing its things without engaging. In this, you have to realize that you are not your thoughts, you are not your feelings. Don't identify with all the things that your mind is telling you at this moment and at this moment. It's very easy to know that the thoughts and the feelings are not you, because think about how they are changing and how they change through your life. When you were 6 years old, you had none of the problems and thoughts and feelings that you have now, but it was still you. In 10 years, you will probably have totally different sets of challenges. So learn to see that it is an observer in there, and it is all these events that happens in the mind. So don't fight it, let it be there, accept it, and observe it. So especially when things are hard, our mind tends to pull us into those things all the time, again and again. You can go day after day, week after week, month after month, and you have actually pretty much the same thoughts every day. But let those feelings be there, accept them, do not deny them. Tell yourself, I see, I hear, but I'm not going to engage. That's my tip uno. So let's go over to tip number 2. As a side note, if this was not clear, if you feel like you didn't really understand what I was saying, please leave a comment under and I will try to explain it better. So let's go over to tip number 2. Don't trust the inner voice. We all have this inner voice. Maybe right now you are saying, no, I don't have, or you hear your head saying, no, I don't have an inner voice. Well, that's the voice. So we all have it, and we have a tendency to trust it way too much. Just think about it. You meet someone new in a party, and your mind is telling you, this person looked strangely at me, or this person doesn't like me. And later you found out that was absolutely not the case. You get to know this person and you get to hear her view of what happened, and you realize that was absolutely not true. And there are plenty of examples where our mind is, that voice is telling us things that is just not true at all. but still we trust it again and again and again. You know, if that voice was a coach that you had been hiring for helping you with something, you would have fired that coach ages ago, because it's just not trustable. So this is linked to advice number 1. Hear it, but question it. Like, don't just trust it because you might tell it. You question and you like put it to the wall and ask, what is the proof of this? Is it proof that what this voice is saying is true? What is the proof that is not true? And like, don't let it get away. If it tells you bad things about yourself or bad things about how it would be in the future, or question this voice, and you will realize that the voice have actually no ID. The voice is not a psychic who can predict the future. You just have to look in your past about that voice and you will see how many times it has been wrong. So when I say don't trust your inner voice, I don't talk about the gut feeling. The gut feeling is something different. Sometimes you just know. It's not no thinking involved. You just know something is off, something is wrong. That feeling is very, very important to be in contact with. But I'm talking about that inner voice that is just blabbery, 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 blabbery all day long. So let it be there, but don't put too much importance into it. Tips number 3. Move your body. Get into action. Don't just sit and think or lay and scroll with your phone and watch Netflix, and don't continue being stuck. It will not help you. It will only make things worse and make it even more hard to get out of it later. So move your body. Get your ass to the gym, do some yoga, do some running, just take down the blinds and turn on some music and dance around. Like, do anything that will put your body into action, into movement. And you will see that as the body changes, what happens in the body changes, what happens in the mind also changes. So just start dancing, just start moving around, or do any kind of activity, physical activity that you can enjoy. No matter what it is, do it and you will see a difference before and after. So just take action. Like, you will probably not feel like doing anything. You'd probably just want to lay on the sofa and it feels painful and horrible and no reason to move, but do it anyway. When I'm feeling stuck and I know I need to move, I'm telling myself, Ingunn, you will never feel like it. You will never, so just do it. You just have to do it, because if you're going to lay and wait until you feel like, you can wait the rest of your life. And that can be for me, that can be very helpful. That I just know that I will never want to, so I just do it now. So try that. Tips number 4. Acknowledge that you are in control of your own life. You're responsible for your own life. You cannot control everything that happens to you. It's impossible, because it's just too many factors in this world. So don't try to control the outside world. It will never happen. That everything will never happen just like you want it to happen. But what you can control is your inner world. You can control how you react and how you respond to the things happening to you. That is a power that when you realize that you have that power, you feel so strong. Like, you are not a victim of all the things that happens. You are the one that can decide what you will do with it and how you will use it and how you will react and how you will respond. So basically just realize that everything will never go exactly how you want it on the outside, but you have the power to control what happens in the inside. Of course, this is something you have to practice to find that inner peace and that inner connection, the consciousness inside you who's observing everything. That brings me to the next advice. Tips number 5. Meditate and do breathing techniques. I cannot tell you enough how important that is. I have been doing meditation for many years, on and off, and also breathing techniques on and off, and I can see the difference in the life quality is huge. It is so huge. So I know you will never feel like, you just think about it at the same with going to the gym. You're not going to feel like, but you will never regret it after. You will always feel better than you did before. So even if you can manage to do 10 minutes of meditation, even 5 minutes of meditation every day, it's amazing and you will notice the difference. You can do more advanced practices if you have been used to doing meditation and breathing exercises, or you can do the very basic, which is just sitting down on the floor or on a chair, have your back straight, relax your shoulders, close your eyes, put your hands in the lap, and you just focus on your breath, how your belly moves out when you breathe in and how it will move in when you breathe out. Just feel how the breath can calm down your whole system. As you do this, if you need a place to focus your mind, because we all have a monkey mind that wants to jump around and jump around, you can place your focus between your eyebrows and you just breathe. And you put on the alarm clock for 5 minutes or 10 minutes and you just sit there. And you do that every day. If you can do longer, that's amazing, but if you can do just a little bit every day, you will notice huge change. Of course, in the beginning especially, your mind will jump and jump and jump and talk and talk and talk and talk, but the more you meditate, the more and more quiet your mind will get. And that is an amazing feeling of connection and inner freedom, that you more and more are in control over the mind and not the mind in control over you. It's an old saying in yoga that they often repeat, and that is, the mind is a bad master but a good servant. Remember that. Tips number 6. Learn from other people. Learn from people who've been through the same that you are going through. Find books. It's so many good books, self-help books, spiritual books. It's just an ocean of books, and I'm sure you will find something that is for your situation, that you can recognize yourself and you can get help from someone else. It's like we have often a tendency of thinking we will do everything alone, we can do this, but we all can benefit from some help from each other and from the experiences of each other. So just be open to try new techniques, be open to adjust and do things differently, and don't let yourself be stuck in the beliefs you had before about how it has to be. Being stuck in beliefs is just not benefiting us. Open up, try something new, and then you can choose. Did it work or did it not? So be open to learn. That is my advice. Tips number 7. Be kind to yourself. Don't be mean. And I'm saying that because I know how mean I have been to myself through my life. Some periods of my life I have been treating myself like I wouldn't even treat my worst enemy like that. The things I said to myself, I would never say that to a person. And I'm sure the more you get aware of that voice, you will realize that it's saying a lot of crap. So be kind, choose to be kind, choose to have respect for yourself and to understand yourself, and know that none of us is perfect. We just need to learn and to understand this life, and none of us is handed out a manual when we arrive at this life. We just have to do our best. So just be kind. And if you are in a place now that it's very hard to be kind because you are so stuck in depression or anxiety or inner stress and chaos, a good thing can be to kind of override the mind. And what I mean by that is to use some visualizations. You can write down some on your own, or you can, for example, go to YouTube and find a lot of free visualizations, and you just listen to those. And you kind of just brainwash yourself, because that's what you're already doing, but you're brainwashing yourself with a lot of bad things that will not benefit you. So do the opposite and put a lot of positive things. Tell yourself you're beautiful, tell yourself you're strong, tell yourself you can do this, tell yourself you're intelligent, you're smart, you got this. Even if you don't believe it, just tell yourself it. That's how it is, and you will see things will change. Tips number 8. Understand why it's hard. Our mind have a tendency to think it's better than the devil you know than the devil you don't know. And you can see that in so many situations for so many people. They are maybe caught in a horrible relationship or a horrible situation, but at least they feel safe because they don't know how it will be if they walk away from that. So our mind have a tendency to just want to stay where it is because it feels more safe. So when you realize that that is just how the mind is, and you don't have to listen to the mind, you can do your own choices. It's like everything we do for two reasons. It is to either to avoid pain or to gain pleasure. And no matter what it is, that is always a motivation as human being. So when you understand this, you can also start working with your own belief systems, and that will help you a lot in what you are thinking about as painful and what is you are thinking about as will give you pleasure. So let me give you a small example. For example, for me, it's always been like thinking about doing my accounting. It's like the moment somebody mentions accounting, I got pain in my belly, I get stressed, my heart is beating, and I just want to think of something else. And when I started questioning my own beliefs around that, I just realized that in my head, it made sense that it would just be way much more pain starting with that than just postponing it, which is not true. Most of the time, we do not change anything before it's more painful to stay where we are than to actually change. So the more you look at this, the more you will recognize it in your own patterns, that this is how we are motivated to do things and not do things. And then we have gotten to the last advice, and that is to take a conscious decision. Take a conscious decision about where you want to be. About that you are not going to be in the crap place you are right now. You are not going to be pulled down that negative spiral, and you are not going to listen to the mind. You're taking a conscious choice that you are going to feel great again. You're going to feel life, feel energy pumping through your body, and feel like you have been doing when you have been feeling your best. That's where you want to be, and you're ready to do anything to get there. Don't let the mind control you and pull you down anymore, but take responsibility for your life, and you will see that things will feel much better. We don't have to be victims, we can be powerful. We can take that power back and recognize how our mind operates, and also realize your mind is not evil. That's not why it's doing all this thing. It's just you can see your mind as actually as a computer, a very good computer that can think amazing thoughts and create amazing things. But most of us have taught this computer to do things it's just not made for. And it's working and working and working and working with something it's just not designed to fix. And as a result, we get very, very stressed and nervous and experience anxiety, and we just go places we don't want to be, and we get very, very stuck. So retrain your brain to work in a way that will benefit you instead of a way that will just pull you down. So the more you understand it, the easier this is. In the end, I would love to recommend you some very good books that is talking a lot about these things. One is the one called Awaken the Giant Within from Tony Robbins. It's a book from 91, I think, but it's just so good, and it explains it so well. Another book is The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. It's a more spiritual book, but also talking a lot about how our mind operates and how we can work with the mind to just make things flow and avoid being stuck, and avoid being stuck in places where we just feel so disempowered. So that's two books that is amazing. So that was my advices, and I hope you like them. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up so YouTube knows that you like this kind of content, and then I will make more of it. So I don't know if you like it or not. If you don't like it, just put a thumbs down. So I wish you a beautiful day. Also, please follow my account. That would be super, super great. And have a beautiful day. I wish you all the best. And I just wish you that inner freedom and not feeling stuck on the inside.